Well, dang, I ordered it online. What more can I do? Just had breakfast and she wants me to park in number 2. Park in number 2? Give me a break. This is that online McDonald's. You can pick it up at the window or the drive-thru. Right. Looks like you got the vanilla. It's gonna be the French coffee. And then jumped a hash brown with a standard McMuffin, sausage style. All right, it's a Saturday, February 7th, 10:02 a.m. Starting with door-to-door, and then later on, we'll pick up the food at the restaurants and drop it off at your doorstep. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. There's Kitty. I had some Oscar predictions way back. Right now, I'm just going with Marty Supreme or One Battle After Another. It'll be Timothy Chalamet, or it could be Leo. Leo could steal one. I hear that One Battle one is pretty good. He plays a guy named Bob Ferguson / Pat Calhoun / what's the other guy? He's got 3 names in it. The Rocket Man, right? That's the P.T. Anderson one. He should probably get it, but it could go to Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, which is a Richard Linklater piece about a lyric writer in New York named Lawrence Hart that worked with Rogers and Hammerstein people. He mostly worked with Rogers, and that one looks pretty good because he is a big character work with Ethan Hawke. Plus, I met Ethan Hawke. He's pretty cool. He's one of my teachers. All right, trying to think. I might, there's another guy, Wagner Mara in Secret Agent. That one looks like a pretty strong one. Everyone's liking that on YouTube, like a lot of vlogs and stuff. They're liking his performance because it's kind of subtle, but there is a breakdown scene in it, and he plays different characters. Kind of like he changes personas almost. So they might give it to him. It would be an upset. It's going to be a good year for the Oscars. I'm kind of rooting for One Battle After Another because I'm a P.T. Anderson fan. But here's the kicker. I haven't seen any of these movies. Nope. I just seen the trailers. I did the math, and it would be maybe $100 to $200 to rent all these movies right now. Can you imagine the world that we live in? You can't go to a Redbox and get any of the movies for $2, even if you try. There's no Redbox around. At least they have one in your town. You might could go to a Family Video. I can't find any Family Videos around here. I could go to a movie trading company. I might could get a deal. But most, at least you want to leave a comment, it's $4.99 to rent a movie. So you take 10 movies times $4.99, just round that off to $5 a rent a movie. If you're lucky, if you get a good price, you're looking at least $50. Okay, yeah, okay, so $50 to watch all 10 best Oscar nominations. So maybe you got to fork over $50, as opposed to when Redbox was, at 7-Elevens and grocery stores, you could get all 10 movies and rent them, I guess at one time, for about $20, because it was $2 a movie. $1.99, you could rent a movie for one night, $1.99. But what I'm saying is that with the streaming, it's still going to be like $100 or $200, because you don't always find a $4.99 deal on a new movie. Sometimes it's $8.99 to rent a movie. If you want to buy them, forget about it. It's like $20 each movie. But anyway, I'll probably watch them eventually. But I do watch the trailers at no cost on YouTube. All right, so here we go. Please subscribe. Big thumbs up. Also, PayPal. I'll put my PayPal like right here if you want to support the channel. And right now, let's get to those doors. Now, I don't mean Jim Morrison, but I do like Jim Morrison's stuff. He was a heck of a writer. Lucky little lady in a Hollywood bungalow. Put on some Doors. The LA Woman album, Wizard of Oz, is coming January 23rd. It's already here. And then Hairspray's picking up February 28th. Look at my hairspray. Got my hairspray going on. I got to get some new glasses, guys. That's what we're working for. I'm going to get some really cool ones. They're going to be like, you put them on and you can like twist this little thing. I'm going to get them online, and it can adjust, like if you're reading real small fine print. That's what I use these for. And I'm going to report them later. I don't know where to find them, so if you know where to find them, leave a comment. I seen them on like some kind of show. All right. We're on our way. Blah, blah, blah. I think the song is called The Changeling. Don't quote me. But it's the first song on LA Woman, which could be one of their best albums, The Doors. I'm just playing The Doors because I'm knocking on doors. You know, The Doors. Because it's kind of a joke, you know. We talk about doors. Something like, I'm not talking about Jim Morrison doors. I'm talking about your doors. It's going to be a 13-hour day. So I'm going to have to conserve. I did an hour and something last night. No, it was like an hour and a half. But this thing is, one of my high school sweethearts lived like right down here off of Shirley. I think her house was actually rebuilt. And probably a lot of salesmen probably made quite a bit of money off of it. She was kind of like one of those chicks. Lucky little lady in the city of lights. City of night. All right. Yeah, I was listening to The Changeling on LA Woman. I might listen to that album today. The Doors. Going to the next one. I don't have the mileage on it because I'm really probably not going to be working Apple CarPlay. It's giving me too much trouble because I think this is the iPhone 17. This is a 2024. I really think that they didn't. I don't think they kept up with the technology as much. What they should do, this is just my own personal opinion, I think they should pretty much just make these an iPad, you know? Like, what they should do with these cars is pretty much just build in an iPad, like right here. That's pretty much what they do with the Tesla, isn't it? That way, it's isolated. It can basically access the internet on its own. You know what I mean? It's independent. It doesn't have to rely on this crap. So I'm just plugging it into the power play, or actually this right here, which is the charger. I'm just plugging it into the charger, and I'm just going to use it that way. But what I could do for safety reasons is I could just type in the address. That's where she lived, right there. They changed her house, though. She's the one with the initials JQ. Look at it. It's like a freaking mansion. They're still freaking doing construction on that house. I think her window was... Oh, wow. I don't know if she has her window there anymore. They walled over that window. She lived like right there. One time I snuck into her window that late at night. I woke her up. She scared the crap out of her. When we first got together, I broke up with her right down this way because I figured she was kind of out of my league. I gave her a ring and everything. And then I drove down this way. I think it was in my mom's car. And then I went ahead and broke up the relationship so I could move on. I was going to dedicate, at that point, my life to theater, which I kind of did. I got involved in stage and theater. And I drove over here. This is after we had only been together for a few months. And I think it was in this parking lot. And I told her I think it would be best if we broke up. And she cried and cried. So I went, okay. And so then I gave her the ring back and we stayed together. And then she broke up with me right before prom and then called me up at the last minute and then said she wanted to go to prom with me. And then we hung out a little bit during college and then she left to Austin. And I haven't seen her since. She went and visited me a couple times before she left for Austin. I think I was maybe 21, I think, the last time I saw her. I called her a few times during my first marriage, believe it or not. After my wife left me one time, my first wife, I went ahead and called her. She was like laughing on the phone. Well, she started laughing at me. I don't know. But it's time to put away those childish things. Even though it does say in, I believe, Psalms, to marry the love of your youth. It says it in Psalms. If you read Psalms. I believe it may, or maybe it's Proverbs. Yeah, I think it's Proverbs. Sorry about that. But it's one of them. It's either Proverbs or Psalms. It says to marry the love of your youth. Isn't that interesting? I think it's Proverbs. I'm going to go with Proverbs. Still listening to Hank Williams' Outlaw Women. One of my favorite songs right now. But I'm going back to the Doors right here. She works at the bank and she works at the store. And she don't go for the old stuff anymore. She likes to get high and listen to the band. All right, got a hankering for Hank Williams. I put the sound on, so it'll tell me when to turn. Fuzzies right there. Got this guy, Sam Elliott, on the wall. John's Grill that used to be the Hop, or the Aardvark. And I changed it to the John's Grill. It's just like a grill. It's kind of sad. We used to do swing dancing in there. I'm just kind of showing Westbury. It's pretty much where I grew up in high school. I had a friend named Rob Vasquez, who's kind of a resident playwright in the area. He used to write all these little plays ever since high school to like college. We would do them in these little theaters in Fort Worth. And then I ran off eventually after graduating at the University of North Texas in Denton. I ran off to Hollywood. I tried to break into acting. And then after about a year of that, I got discovered by a guy named James Lipton from the Inside the Actor Studio at the New School University. He wanted me to go to the Actor Studio. So he said I had the hot stuff. And I would go there. So I went to New York. But I happened to arrive in New York. I found a room in Brooklyn. Basically, it was a landlord in Brooklyn that she lived off Waverly Place, right at the Fulton stop in Brooklyn. And she said I could rent a room for $700. So I went ahead and took that offer up. It was a decent sized room. It had a heater in it and stuff like that. And then I got robbed about the first weekend at a convenience store. Not at gunpoint, but they just took my wallet off a counter. I set my wallet on a counter. Don't ever do that in New York. To pick up some nectarines. There's Pascal High School. Then stupid fire truck. What I ended up doing was I ended up leaving the Brooklyn place, and they got me a dorm room on, I think it was the address, if I remember, was it was 38 East 21st Street, New York, 10010, I think. It was like right there between Park Avenue and Broadway. I lived there for the rest of the year. But I woke up, I moved in August in 2001. So I woke up on September 11th, and everyone was saying that the World Trade Center was on fire. Speaking of fire trucks. And at the end of that year, I decided to come home. So I've been here for about 20 years, doing different stuff, sales jobs and menial jobs and writing. I do a lot of writing. I'm writing, like, finishing up one book and starting another kind of thing. And then I started the vlog about 5 to 6 years, about 2020. It's like 6 years ago, I started the vlog with a lady named Linda, who we started a band called the Linda and Cole Band. It just goes on and on and on. It's a long story. All right, I decided to use this system. There's two reasons why. Okay, one reason is once I input the system, the address, okay, once I put it in here, then it saves in here. I think it even does like a temporary save for the day. And because what I noticed is because I'm always like going between Sales Rabbit and Redfin and things like that, I sometimes will lose the address. I don't know if you do the same. You're like, where did my address go? But a lot of times it'll store it in Google Maps or Apple Maps, or Waze, whichever one you're using. But it doesn't always, especially with Google Maps, it doesn't always store it. I mean, it usually does. Apple, I think, is pretty good at storing it. But this is really good because I'm manually putting it in and it's already in here. That way, I'll go straight there and it kind of helps me focus. Plus, I can see this, right? So I'm going to use this and just manually put them in. I remember talking about that last night, I think. All right, we're like in the TCU area. Some of these homes are like $5.4 million. I was going to say billion. Not yet. We're not in that kind of inflation. If it's that bad, man, milk would be like $20 a gallon. But it is in Hawaii. Or it's like $12 or $15 for a gallon of milk in Hawaii. But what I'm trying to say is that some of these are like $3 million homes, some $1 million home, things like that. So it might not be bad, you know. A lot of times when people have that revenue and they're moving in a house that's like $1 million home, they're gonna definitely be getting all the services. So they're like hot spots for door-to-door people, you know, from everything from you couldn't even believe, from everything, you know what I mean? Solar power to everything. Okay. Like, you know, smart home stuff, all kinds of stuff.
There's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours.
Man, she should do a commercial for Planet Fitness. Okay. It's like, hey, I'm in production. You want to do a commercial for Planet Fitness? All right. Next door, 0.3 miles. All right. Yeah, so that was her old house. I don't think she lives there anymore. Her father was a physicist at TCU. He was a physicist professor. Helped me with my algebra one time, or kind of. Actually, it was really weird. He just kind of listened to me ramble about this algebra problem. That's kind of where I probably came up with the NE theory. Not there, though, but she did teach me the first part of Beethoven's Elise. Dun, 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 dun. I think she's a genius. But yeah, she's in the story of Rib. She's only an initial, though. It's kind of my story's kind of about delusion. But she was really, really pretty. It's a very cool door. All right, next door is going to be 1.1 miles. I love that little chimney right there. It's a nice old house. Right, kitty? It's $2,999,999.99. Just under $3 million by 1 penny. Planet Fitness. All right. All right, next one is 1.2 miles. The lady back there was selling smart home ass. I didn't get it though, but looked like she's been at Planet Fitness for a couple days. She needs like a couple more months at it. You got the jelly roll on the butt, lady. She got the smart home ass. Watching the Flintstones and eating bonbons. There she is. She's selling smart home ass. All right. She's your average TCU chick that probably jogs 2.4, maybe 3 miles at the most a day. Where the guys here are pulling about 6 miles a day. I call them Patrick Bateman's in the running. Yeah, a lot of them are like pure muscle. It's almost like now when you go to TCU, they're like, okay, so we know that you have the academics, okay? And that's great. We love the fact that you scored a perfect score on your SAT and you could get into Harvard. That's great. And also we know that you've got a lot of talent too in your field. But do you have the looks? So can you stand up right over here for me and just kind of turn around and then smile? I just don't know if you look good enough to go to TCU. So here's a membership to Planet Fitness. And what we're going to do is have you turn in every 6 months from now a photo and a video and see if you're doing better. And if you fit those health criterias and you look better, then we'll let you in. And the guy's like, I scored a perfect score on my SAT. I wrote an essay that's published in the New Yorker. Why would you not let me in? Because you're ugly. All right, there's the iguana with the cowboy hat. The zoo at Fort Worth. Yeah, so it started in 1873. So 153 years ago. They're connected to the Disciples of Christ and the Protestant TCU. They do have a big Catholic following here. There's a lot of Catholic people. Actually, my high school sweetheart was Catholic. So was her dad. But they do have it here. But it's mostly, it's kind of a Protestant thing. But they don't care about the denominations. You could be a Buddhist and go here. There's Satanists that even have gone here. When we did a play at Pascal in 1992 called Look Homeward Angel, and my drama teacher found an angel here, but they were like art students and they had like pentagrams and stuff on the wall or something. We called them Satanists, but we bought the angel to put in the play, which turned out to be a very successful play. It's probably the reason why I'm doing this too. I wasn't the biggest Thomas Wolfe fan, but my stepdad was, and so that's the reason I auditioned for Look Homeward Angel. I played Ben Gant, the older brother that dies and talks to his brother, his brother's ghost. It dies of, I believe he dies of, it's set in North Carolina, in the Charleston area, like Chapel Hill kind of area. I'm trying to think of what his brother's name was in that. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm like, I remember the brother's name. I can say it in my head, but I can't remember it right now. Because he always looks up and says to his brother that his brother was a ghost. He always was talking to his brother as he was talking to someone else. His brother passed away, his older brother passed away. And it's all around Eugene Gant, who is another version of Thomas Wolfe. It's a really good play. And he goes off and he finds the world. Thomas Wolfe didn't live that long, but he wrote quite a bit. I think like maybe 10 good novels or something like that. Okay. All the way from Nebraska. According to Google, Ben Gant's older brother, that's a ghost that he talks to, they call him the Dark Angel, but he has a name. So when he's talking to Eugene Gant, he goes, listen to that. He has a name. What is the name of his ghost brother that Ben Gant actually talks to? The name is Grover Grant. Ben Gant's older brother that died before he died. I think of the same thing. They both died of pneumonia from the Spanish flu. His name was Grover Grant. Grover. That's the one he's talking to, the ghost he talks to. He's like, can you listen to him? Will you listen to him? That was Grover. He died before Ben Gant died. Next one, 1.2. We get stoned at the jukebox and stay out of fight. Next door, 2.2. Next one, 3.2. Next door, 1.8. Next one, 1 mile. What is that? That's got a smoke cooker in the back. Let's call you an oversized taco truck. beautiful lap dog, my goodness. Door 1.2. It's Coyote. So they'll lure the domestic dogs out to their pack and they'll kill them. You just run around and get them to scent out. That's a coyote. It's a wild coyote. He's dodging that car right there that's passing that truck right here. He went down in that ravine. That's where they stay. Then what they do is they get a domestic dog to chase them. They bring them out in the field and kill that domestic dog. He's down there in that ravine. I've written about it. Those are known as wild squirrels. One's camouflaging himself against the tree right there. He is. Yep. He's got a little chipmunk in him. It's a wild squirrel. They will collect nuts throughout the year and they'll bite you if you get too close. Right, little squirrel? All right, we do have an active garage sale. Location, Windhaven. See if I can show it. Windhaven Road, active garage sale, Fort Worth. Kind of in the middle of the road. There's a classic truck alert. Next door, 0.3. That's a scavenging squirrel. That looks like competition. He's doing my job for me, so I can see that he's walking away. So I can always do go back, but looks like this already has a security sign right on it right here. So they could be with somebody, but it could be a go back. I don't know. I'm gonna put not moved in yet. Am I asking? Hey, you don't know if they moved in yet, do you? They move in yet?
I don't know.
Oh, you have no clue? Okay. They have a sign out front though, right? The little security sign? Is that, you have no clue? All right, thank you. All right, so his disposition's not given out. Next door, 0.4. Yeah, they're doing work right now. Looks like a guy named Angel already signed them up. Hey, oh, let's go. Hey, oh, let's go. Next one, 2.1. What is this? The pig door? So that address was saved. So it does save it in the system. So it's pretty quick. Next one, 3.1. We're doing sticky, sticky, sticky poo. You can always resume route on this puppy right here. It's actually really useful. So if you're having problems with it sticking, I'm talking about social media, you can use this. So that is, I guess, a problem with Kia. But that'll override it and you can just continue on. They'll probably in the future have that exactly what this will do. So in your social media, like your Apple CarPlay or something like that, oink oink, when that sticks, then you just switch over manually to the, well, it doesn't, you have to do it manually now, but I'm saying in the future it'll do it automatic. So it'll know, because that's what it does. It has a memory and stuff. It'll know what you're trying to get to. There it goes. I'll give you an example. All right, so it's not sticking now, right? So it's working. So let's say it sticks and you notice that it sticks and that's deceiving. You go to map like that. Then you hit resume. Watch. And now we know where we're going. You can also verify address by just touching that right there. But here's the thing on this one. If you go back to media, if it lets you, which it might, there's the copyright. You go here, it's I think it might be the Sheens. It doesn't always resume. Social media is not always completely reliable on it, but the fixed system is. So you can actually revamp it. It's kind of like you go like that. It'll revamp like that. Well, if I exit out like right here, see, sticky, okay, it's trying not to stick right now, but it is ultimately, it's not, okay, so it's not stuck right yet. Okay. Usually it won't, there we go. And then we go back this way. Sometimes it revamps. So, still pretty good. It's because of this thing, the beats. It's a little bit better because of the beats. So, it'll re-situate itself. It'll basically revamp itself. It'll get back in charge. So, it has like a backup system. All right, next one, 1.9. Lutherans Church. Perfect love casts out fear. 1 John 4:18. Okay, gonna secure my little backup tray here. I'll go get some salad. Like a bacon salad. These are pretty good, these little radishes. These artichokes. Olives. Stuff is impossible to get off of this right here. It's like paint or something. This stuff's been sitting out here too long too. A couple of grapes. Crazy amount of stuff. Alright, I kind of overdid it a little bit, but I don't know. You can still go back for another trip, so I didn't realize it until I got to like the biggest salad ever. That Man Eats Beard guy should do like a salad contest. Freaking kill him, dude. I might challenge him on that one though. He does like this amount of meat and stuff. It's mostly just salad. What I do is this is like the potato salad. Well, one thing I do, it's like take like an egg, then you cut it right here. You gotta have a place to put it in, so just dump the eggs in there. Dump that out here. Taking like all the fat out of the egg. Sometimes I eat some of the fat. I usually take that out. It's all the cholesterol. It's like high cholesterol is in that part of the egg. And then I just dump it in there. I take some pepper and I put it on the egg here. Pepper here. We have like a little peppered egg thing.
And you want to strap yourself down with like a Jason's Deli bib right here. That way you don't end up wearing most of it. I do that pretty much on this stuff right here. Take all the fat out of the. This is pretty much like pure protein right here. There we go. I do this as like a health conscious step. That's pretty much my dinner for tonight. Like a cracker with hummus and mushroom. We got cracker and a pickle. Actually good because it's 0 calories. It's basically a red wine vinegar. It's really good dressing. Second bowl. And plate 2. Poor child on the way. It's going to be 5:47, 2 minutes, 0.2. All right, so this is like do good, feel good. This is cucumber lemon. Flower child on the way, 6:15, 23 minutes, 16. Yeah, Apple CarPlay sticky, so it's like freezing and all that kind of stuff. It does it sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. It's intermittent. Looks like a new homeowner. You got a security light.
Right, it looks like we got a Whataburger and then another restaurant. 6:34, 3 minutes, 0.7. Not that Whataburger's not a restaurant, but it's kind of a place that has a restroom, is what I would say. And some, greasy burgers with french fries. The other one's, I think, at a restaurant. We'll find out in a minute. Night Chili's on the way, 6:51, 6 minutes, 0.9. I had a lot of lights on that car. It says something in the front. I don't know if it says Jesus or... Got like blue lights. Once he knew I was playing along, he shut up. That's a cool little door right there. It's kind of cool. Ooh. A little bumpy in the elevator. I asked the guy, I was like, where's the restroom? He goes, oh, it's over there. It's right there. Exactly how I go, where's the restroom? He goes, it's right there. It's right there. Firehouse 739 arrived. right, Mellow Mushroom, 75814, 6.9 for... (1874) is when TCU started. This place started in 1974. In Georgia. And then 18 years ago, they opened up here right next to TCU. All right. Mellow Mushroom on the way. It's also basically pizza and spirits. Bakers and something spirits, whatever it says. Pizza and spirits. They're pizza bakers and spirits. Sounds like an El Phoenix. All right, Papa John's, 8:22, 2 minutes, 0.5. Papa John's, 8:34, 4 minutes, 1. Cookie. 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 Coffee. Nuts and berries and croutons. Jason's Deli on the way, 9/16/13, 6.1. This is known as dual capture. It's a new feature on the iPhone 17, which is what you're looking at right there. That's triple capture. Dual capture, triple capture, dual capture, triple. nice ceilings. Oh, hi. Where all the race cars line up before they burn all the gas to try to make all the money. All right, Taco Bell on the way, 9:56, 5 minutes, 1.2 for pickup. Taco Bell's on their way, 10:23, 8 minutes, 2.8. That's Lake Como right there. Used to be a real rough place to hang out back in the 90s. All right, next delivery, 0.9, 10:30. This is the Burton Hill drop. Here. Missed him. It's a freaking raccoon. Got it. There she is. Look at those eyes. That's Tabitha. We go with today's kitty. There's one kitty and 9 lives. Each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food. Pick cat food. Today's kitty will be having fancy faced salmon feast and gravy. Grilled. And your neighbor kitties outside are going to have some too. Okay, kitty, here we go. We got a big scoop there and another scoop. And then for your neighbor kitties, they get a little bit. Your outdoor kitties. You're an indoor kitty. So you get treated differently than an outdoor kitty. Right? You're the indoor kitty. Then there's outdoor kitties. Right? All right. Now for the outdoor kitties. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Amy. Come on. There we go. All right, kitty. Good night. And I'm going to have this cookie.